I am not disappointed. What is up, flick fans? From the directors John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein comes Game Night. This is a movie about a group of friends who meet regularly for game nights, and they suddenly find themselves trying to solve a murder mystery. But this movie, guys, this goes so far off the rails, and I know I'm already giving it away, and I already did in the beginning, but I really had a good time watching this film. 2 solid theatrical releases this weekend. Life's getting better. Sound like Mark Wahlberg. 2 solid theatrical releases this weekend. Life's getting better, Mark Wahlberg. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. Be sure to check out my Annihilation review and my Mute Netflix review. Finally, a good comedy in Game Night. Now, I can't believe we're talking about a comedy, but once again, Mark Wahlberg. I can't believe we're talking about a comedy, but I am going to talk about the technical aspects to start off. First off, the transitions from one scene to another scene and the way that they play within this game board setting is so cool. I think you can chalk that up to a storytelling aspect that I wish was used in more comedies. Just kind of think outside the box. That's what these directors and writers did, and for that, I applaud them. My next point, the music, the score, the soundtrack. This is one of the best and most creative scores that I've heard in a long time. You liken this music to a movie like Good Time that came out last year. I know a lot of you guys didn't see it, but if you did and you listened to that soundtrack, does it not sound just like this? It worked in that film, which was a hardcore crime drama, but it also works in this comedy, which includes crime. And that's another thing that I love. Usually I don't like when comedies have something that's super realistic and then all of a sudden you throw in this crime aspect. Rough Night did it. Pitch Perfect 3 did it. Yeah, occasionally it works, but it's super rare. Well, with Game Night, it works, and it works so well. Not just because the character work in here is brilliant, but the crime aspect of this film is such a natural fit. I mean, my goodness, it is the plot of the movie. Things go awry. It's not actually what it seems. So my petty excuse of, oh, don't throw in the crime aspect, no, it worked in this movie, and it made it so much funnier. Jason Bateman's great. Rachel McAdams is great. Everyone involved does a good job, but the guy that I want to talk about real quick, Jesse Plemons. You'll know it when you see it. It'll have the audience rattling in their cages, but my goodness, when he is on screen, he is the most awkward, unlikable human being you have ever seen in your life, and it works so well, not just because of how he is performing, but the responses that you get out of the rest of the cast. His character is one of my favorite, one of the funniest characters. No spoilers, but the dog, my goodness, that scene was so funny. There are a few standout scenes in this movie, and it's not necessarily, oh, they're gut-busting, laugh-out-loud funny, but it's the most creative humor that I've seen in a long time. It's that stale, sarcastic humor that I really love in films. Jason Bateman kills it within that little bubble of sarcastic humor, and it really made me chuckle and laugh hard at times. Now, I do have problems with this film. It's not perfect, and it's not the best comedy I've ever seen. Some of the jokes don't land. I think that's my biggest problem. If those jokes that didn't land, if we wouldn't have had those few moments with a few more silences than maybe I would have wanted, I think this movie would have been a smash hit for me and the perfect comedy. But there are some jokes that don't land. There are times when I didn't really laugh and I didn't find myself wanting to laugh, and that was disappointing. Some of the scenes drag out a little bit, and it comes back to forcing that humor on screen. There are 2 jokes in here that I can remember specifically that do play out a little bit too long. I wish they would have shortened that up, maybe shortened the movie up as a whole. And my final negative, the trailer really gave away some of the best jokes in this movie. If you haven't seen the trailer, do not watch it. If you have seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying to expect things that you have seen. I think I would have laughed a lot more at the big hit laughs if I wouldn't have seen them in the trailer. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm talking about how good this movie is, because if you haven't seen this trailer, there are going to be moments where you are laughing out loud as hard as you physically can. Color me shocked, guys. I think Game Night is a huge surprise as a comedy. Comedy is so difficult to get down pat because everyone has a different sense of humor, and there are comedies that I hate that other people love, comedies that I love and other people hate. This is a comedy that I think might be a little bit more universal just because it's so smart, so sly. It has the things in there for film lovers, but it also has the things in there for comedy lovers, and I think that's why Game Night was so creative. I'm going to give Game Night a 77%, the best straight-up comedy that I have seen in, I can't think of the last good straight-up comedy that I've seen. I mean, you've got movies like The Big Sick and The Disaster Artist, but that's a rom-com. That's a movie based on a true story. This is a straight-up comedy that I think really hits, and it could stand the test of time. So what did you guys think about Game Night? Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Leave your comments below. Let me know if you laughed as hard as I did, or maybe if some of the jokes missed for you. You guys are the absolute best. Be sure to check out my other reviews like I said, and I will catch you later.